Ever since I was little, like 2 or 3, I wanted a horse that was just for me. I asked nicely. I whined, cried, and I begged. I did all I could think of. I'm not pulling your leg. Despite all my asking, Mom and Dad never pulled through. I exhausted my options. I didn't know what to do. The situation was bleak, more desperate by the hour. The only thing left to do was call on a higher power. You know that little fat man dressed in white and red? He was my last hope. I couldn't get him out of my head. I wrote letter after letter, making sure they were just right. I promised to be good all year and never once to fight. Coming down the chimney would be hard with a horse, so he was welcome to leave it at our farm, of course. Christmas morning came with excitement galore, and all of our gifts were stacked onto the floor. There was only one gift for me, some reins and a bridle, and a note for a treasure hunt that took quite a while. And as I suspected, it ended at our farm, in a corral with a horse that was quite full of charm. I hopped on her back, and she flipped me to the snow. That is not how I thought my first ride on her would go. I ran to our car, crying of course, because Santa had brought me a bucking horse. Hi, I'm Ellissa Clark from Morgan County, and that Christmas morning really did happen. That Christmas horse was the beginning of my experience in 4-H. But don't worry, this story has a good ending. Starting from my first incident of getting bucked off my horse, I learned that the only good choice is to get back on and ride. My 4-H experiences have varied from horses and livestock to sewing, cooking, and stained glass. Over the last 7 years of being in 4-H, I have learned how to excel in every project I have started, even if they had a pretty rough start. Let me share a few experiences with you of how I first failed and then succeeded. I have learned to cowgirl up and get back on and ride. Horse 4-H was my first big dream. By the time I was in 3rd grade, I'd already spent many years watching older cousins compete in horse 4-H. I had big dreams of having my own horse, winning blue ribbons, and having shiny belt buckles. My dream never included getting bucked off on my first ride. Little did I know that every real cowgirl just has to spend some time getting thrown in the dirt to truly master the art of horsemanship. I have noticed over my years in 4-H that sometimes a rocky start is just what I needed to help motivate and challenge me towards a great finish. As I started competing in horse shows, my horse Ginger and I had little success. She didn't want to run, and I didn't want to walk. We spent a lot of time getting used to each other and deciding who was really in charge. After 2 years of riding, we were winning blue ribbons, placing in most events, and qualifying for the region and state horse shows. Horses weren't my only rocky start when it came to my 4-H projects. I decided that I wanted to raise a hog to sell at the junior livestock sale at the county fair. Our family didn't have a lot of experience raising hogs. We are dairy farmers, and it definitely showed. It took a few years to figure out how to pick out a good-looking pig, how to feed it and care for it, and how to make sure that it reached the optimum weight. The rockiest moment of my pig showing experience came when I finally had a great-looking pig, not just a farm pig. However, my dreams were shattered when my pig stepped onto the scales at the show weigh-in, and she was 4 pounds shy of qualifying. Through all those rocky experiences with varying qualities of pigs, I learned there was always one thing I could do well. I may not have the best-looking pig or a pig that was the perfect weight, but I could excel in showmanship. I developed a talent for keeping my eye on the judge and smiling, even if I had the ugliest pig in the ring. It worked. I started winning Grand Champion Showman. This year, I was even asked to conduct a workshop on hog showmanship for our county livestock club. By keeping my eye on the judge, it has also become symbolic to keeping my eye on my goals. No matter what I do in life, there will always be obstacles to overcome. By keeping my sights set on the end result that I am aiming for, I realize that those obstacles and setbacks are only temporary. 4-H is a family tradition in the Clark family. My grandma has been a 4-H volunteer for over 50 years and strongly believes in keeping the tradition alive. A summer of 4-H projects would not be complete without a club taught by Grandma. My grandma taught me the art of working with stained glass. Glasswork is not easy and was definitely another rocky start for me. I ruined many expensive pieces of glass as I learned to cut and grind the pieces so they would fit together perfectly. When my stained glass American flag went to the state fair last year, I knew I was getting closer to a great finish. There is one common ingredient to success in all of these projects. It is time. On every project, I have had to spend hour after hour of practice and work. I had to spend hours riding my horse and following instructions. With my pigs, I had to get up early every morning to walk them so they would develop good muscling and condition. And with stained glass, I had to be very patient with the cutting and grinding processes so that they would fit together perfectly. The 4-H motto is make the best better. But in my case, we could probably say, make the rocky smoother, or cowgirl up and get back on and ride. 4-H has taught me that every time I meet a new challenge, if I can keep going and put my best foot forward, that I can make the best of a difficult situation. Not only should I accept that failure might be a part of the learning process, but I should expect it. What have I learned from my 4-H experiences? Everyone fails before they succeed. They get bucked off, they land in the dirt. The mark of a successful person is the one who tries again and again. The one who stands up, shakes off the dirt, and gets back on and rides. Thank you.